Alright, today we're going to learn exponential functions. You guys are special because you did pretty good on the test, and I believe that you can help me out teaching exponential functions to the rest of them. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to show you how to graph exponential functions, and then you are going to help me teach the rest of the class exponential functions tomorrow. Okay, so you ready to get started? Alright, make sure you got your pen and paper to take notes with. If you don't, press pause, go get it. Okay. And here we go. So, just straight there. Exponential functions. Alright, here is the parent equation. You'll want to write that down. Notice that we still have an a. He's still a multiplier. Okay, it makes it really easy now because you actually have a multiplication symbol just right here to show you that, hey, I have to multiply by a. Now, this is something new. This is going to be a number, okay? So, basically, with exponential functions, we won't have a parent function. This will always change depending on how we want it because the variable is in as an exponent. It's not as a normal number, it's as an exponent. Okay? H, he is still a liar. He moves me left and right. Okay? Notice how he's tied with the x up here, so it makes it very easy to know that it moves it along the x-axis. And then k is down here at the end. It bookends with y, therefore it does deal with y, and it moves it up and down. Okay, moves it up and down. Now, two things that you need to know. We've got two types of equations, growth and decay. If it is a growth, that means that n basically is a whole number. If n is 1 or greater, we're actually going to grow. It's going to go just like this. Okay. If n is a fraction, okay, if n is a fraction, it's less than 1, it will be a decay model. We will decrease over time. Now, the other thing that we need to talk about is that these have a horizontal asymptote. On a normal one that doesn't have a k, the horizontal asymptote will be x-axis. Okay? So, remember, asymptote is a line that I can never cross. I will get close to it. I'll get very close to it. It looks like I'm even actually touching it, but I'm not. Okay? So we'll deal with horizontal asymptotes with these. All right? So, let me show you an example of growth. Let me show you an example of decay. Sorry for the small board. I left the big ones at home, but luckily my wife and I are both nerds and we have whiteboards just hanging around the house. Alright, so first one we're going to do, y equals 2 to the x. Okay, no a's at this point, no h's at this point. This is all I'm doing. That's where you can see it. That's it. Now remember, I said that we're not going to have a parent function and we're not. However, all my graphs before h and k are going to go through 0, 1. Right? The reason behind that is, notice, if x is 0, the only answer I can get is 1. Okay? Remember, anything raised to 0, 1/2, 2, 5, 3,000. Anything raised to 0 will be 1. So that's where I'm at. So just note, when we graph these, remember, we do our parent function, do our amplitude, and we translate. Always going to start at 0, 1, and work from there. From there, I'm just going to extend out. 1. What's 2 to the first power? 2. What's 2 to the second power? So 2 raised to the second power, 4. And I could continue on and on. Now, we're not going to deal with anything over here because I know that I'm going to get a fraction. Fractions suck. But remember, x-axis is your horizontal asymptote. So I would float right along this line and extend upward. Okay? And then there's my graph. That's what it looks like. Remember, horizontal asymptote. Now from here, if I had an h, if I had a k, I would just translate these 3 dots. Now remember, if I had an a, say this was 2 times 2 to the x. Okay? I multiply the y values. So if I multiply the y values, I come here. My y value is 1. 1 times 2, 2. Multiply the y values. 2 times 2, 4. 2 times, and I screwed that dot up, by the way. That dot should have been way down there. Hopefully you caught that. Okay. And then this one's at 4. Should be up at 6, 7, 8. Up at 8. And then that is my new graph. Okay. Notice I still have the x-axis as my asymptote. Nothing changes there, just the dots now are pushed up higher. All right, we're going to look at Desmos a little bit, and that you can see these better and in person. Okay, so this is a growth, left to right. It's increasing because A is greater than 1. So let's do a decay. Okay, so hopefully you're following along here. Hopefully it's not too confusing. Like I said, we will work on Desmos, and I will give you examples right there to help you out. All right, so let's use 1/2 raised to the x. Okay, so here's what I've got. All right, now remember, if I start on this side, 1/2 raised to the first power is 1/2. My dot would be like right here, and then 1/2 squared would be 1/4. My dot's here, and then 1/8. That's not really enough to give me a graph. Okay, so if I've got a fraction, yeah, I'm going to still start at 0, 1, because 1/2 raised to 0 is 1. I'm going to go this way. So, -1. Well, 1/2 raised to -1. Remember, negative exponents, it flips me. Okay, so I flip 1/2, it becomes a 2. 2 raised to the first power is 2. I come to -2. The negative flips it, and 2 squared is 4. If I even went to 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It looks like that. Connect your dots. And notice how my graph is decreasing. Okay, it is a decay graph. Here I am. All right, and this is what a decay graph would look like. If you HK it, you do that from here. Remember though, always do your amplitude before you HK it. Now, say for example, if I had a -1 times 1/2 to the x. If I had that, my amplitude was a negative. Just like we did with all the other ones now, you do have to flip it. So guess what? This becomes a new horizontal. This becomes, well, I shouldn't say becomes. This stays a horizontal asymptote. All it does is it flips it. So now I'm at -1. Now I'm at -2. Now I'm at, I'm sorry, I'm at -1 here. I'm at -2. I'm at -4. And now my graph looks like that. Okay, it just rotates it on that x-axis. That's it. So, like I said, you guys are going to practice these today. You are going to help me teach this tomorrow. So if you do have questions, please ask today, and try them out on Desmos and see what it looks like. But be prepared. I will assign you with a group tomorrow, and you will teach this to the group. So, good luck.